Sadhguru. Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. In this video, we will learn what is a helping verb, types of helping verbs and functions of helping verbs. First of all, what is a helping verb? Helping verb is used along with main verb. It makes the sentence meaningful. Helping verbs express tense, mood, and voice of the sentence. Helping verbs are mainly two types. They are primary auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliary verbs. First, primary auxiliary verbs. Primary auxiliary verbs are three types. They are be forms, do forms, and have forms. Be forms are am, is, are, was, were, be, being, and being. These are be forms. And what are do forms? Do, does, did. And have forms are have, has, and had. Am, is, are used in present tenses. Was, were are used in past tenses. Been is used in perfect tenses. Being is used in continuous tenses. And be is used in present tense, past tense, or in future tenses. Two forms are do, does, and did. Do forms can be used in negative sentences and in interrogative sentences. Have forms are used in perfect tenses. These helping verbs can be used with the main verbs or they can be used alone. Auxiliary helping verbs can be used with main verbs or they can be used alone. If they are used alone, they function as main verbs. If they are used with main verbs, they function as helping verbs. For example, I am reading a book. In the sentence, am is used with the main verb reading. So it is in the sentence am functions as an auxiliary verb. Example, I am a teacher. In the sentence, am is used alone. There is no another verb used with am. So it functions as a main verb. So helping verbs used alone means it functions as a main verb. If the helping verbs are used with main verb, they functions as an auxiliary verb. Next, second type, modal auxiliaries or secondary auxiliary verbs. What are modal auxiliary verbs? Modal verbs are a special kind of helping verbs. These are different from normal verbs. They can give additional information of main verbs. Modal verbs express ideas of ability, possibility, permission, request, obligation, and future events. What are the specialities of modal auxiliary verbs? Modal auxiliary verbs have some speciality. Modal verbs never change their form. Modal verbs never change their forms. Normal verbs change according to subject, according to number, tense, and subject. But modal auxiliary verbs do not change their form as per subject and as per verb tense. They always follow by base verbs, or they always follow by infinite verb. We can't add ed form or ing form to the modal verbs. But some of the modal verbs have a special kind of past form. Shall is changed into should, will is changed into would, may is changed into might. These are some of the modal verbs having past forms. Modal verbs are mainly 10 types. They are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to. What are the functions of modal auxiliary verbs? First, can. Uses of can. Can is a modal verb. It expresses ability, request, possibility, and permission. Could expresses in request, suggestion, permission, possibility, and past ability. May is used to express permission, request, possibility, and wish. Might is a past form of may. It expresses possibility. When we compare, the shall is used to express obligation, offer, order, and suggestion. Should is a modal auxiliary. It indicates obligation, duty, advice, and suggestion. Will indicates certainty, intention, futurity, purpose, and request. Modal auxiliary would indicates request, suggestion, permission, possibility, and ability. Must is a modal auxiliary which expresses compulsion, inference, obligation, and suggestion. The last one, ought to. Ought to expresses obligation, duty, advice, and suggestion. Identify the functions of modal verbs in the following sentences. For example, he can sing for 2 hours. He can sing for 2 hours. In the sentence, can is a modal auxiliary. It indicates ability. Can indicates ability. You could take an umbrella, it is raining. You could take an umbrella. Here, could expresses suggestion in the sentence. Shall I wait till you come? So, what is the function of shall in the sentence? Shall indicates offer in the sentence. Will you join us tea? In the sentence, what is the function of will? Will will shows intention of the subject. It may rain now. What does may refer here? It may rain now. In the sentence, may indicates possibility. You ought to read newspaper daily. Here in the sentence, ought to is a modal auxiliary. It expresses advice. The next sentence, would you mind closing the door? In the sentence, would indicates request. She will help you. In the sentence, will shows certainty. The rich should help the poor. In the sentence, should is a modal auxiliary in the sentence. It expresses obligation. You should consult a doctor. In the sentence, or should is expressing advice. We must respect our elders. In the sentence, must indicates obligation. We must pay the fee now. In the sentence, must indicates necessity.